Hi guys, in this week's episode we're taking you on a really exciting journey as we start to see our porthole come to life. So this is a huge milestone in the build. So let me show you what's going on. It doesn't come very easy to me to just look at the space and like imagine how I want the storage to be and what materials.
On paper, yes, we have plans. Or rather, we have a blueprint for the overall design. But here's the thing, it only tells part of the story. It gives us the structure, the big picture, but when it comes to the interior, well, there's thousands and thousands of tiny little details that need to be figured out. And that's where we have a fun challenge on our hands. You see, it's hard to design a space without visualizing it first. So,
looking at something at scale in 3D is a lot different even than looking at like a 3D model.
Ready for a slate?
Pretty good, right?
I can now really start to imagine like where the lights are gonna be, where we're gonna want fans. We are really pushing boundaries on a lot of things in this project, and we wanna make a unique, badass boat, and that's exactly what we're doing.
We people celebrating from my homeland. Like my old man said, there's nothing impossible. So we have to bring this message to my brother lyrical, straight from the crew out to the blue.
A lot of things going on here, huh?
There's so much going on today. Me and Ryan have been working on sort of securing the floors because we're starting to build in things like the frame for the bed here. And what we were thinking is we have the front part be fixed, and then there'll be some drawers in here that we can keep our stuff in.
Yep.
And then the back part will be like a lift up, like long-term storage, stuff like that. And then our other thing we were thinking about was, do we keep it square or do we follow the lines of the hull?
Give you a little bit more leg room if you follow the lines of the hull.
I'm thinking we follow the lines of the hull because if we go square, it doesn't really, it just gives us a gap. It's not enough room to really do anything with it.
Because it doesn't make any sense to taper this if we're gonna have the water go all the way out to it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? It's quite challenging too, because like sometimes I have a vision and I'm just like, this is how I want it to look like. And then very quickly I've realized after talking to Dan that like we're governed by so many other measurements.
What we can do is go back to doing this floor. We can do that now to give you a bit of a feel of what's happening over here. And we just hold up on the bed for a bit.
So me and Dan have been working on discussing a lot of the measurements at the back of the galley that kind of comes in to the guest cabin. The galley was designed quite a few months ago. I've been working with Steve on that. I decided on like what fridge to use, like I wanted this kind of oven. I took decisions about the galley that is now gonna affect how that space feels like.
Yeah. But then your height's governed by your oven as well.
This area back here is basically the oven. Is that kind of like a box that is gonna stick into the guest cabin. You know, you make one decision, and you kind of sometimes have to make decisions, I find, because otherwise you will never move forward. And I'm actually super happy with that oven. I'm super happy with how the galley turns out. That's where we're gonna spend most of our time, but they also have like a cascading effect and affects everything else. It's challenging, but it's really fun.
Hey Dan, what's going on, mate?
What are you working on in there?
Just putting a bit of framing up for the interior.
Oh, looking good. So this is the outline of the floor, right? Because the cabinets for the galley will come right back up to here. And this support right here is for the oven. because the oven and the cooktop sit right about here with the oven below it. And so we need a support built out to basically hold the weight of the oven. We got the bed frame in there set. I think it looks great. It's really cool to see stuff kind of coming together.
Yeah, I love it. Like, this is my dream bulk alley, and to see it, it's just so freaking awesome. And Steve has been sending me small little updates on like how it's going when they're putting together the cabinets, which have been really awesome to see. Yeah, it's just been fantastic to see this kind of like this space come together, because in my opinion it's been kind of like a tricky one to see, like to kind of envision. After working on the layout of the guest cabin today, one thing became perfectly clear. I don't think it's possible to properly design a space without visualizing it first. So moving forward, I was going to take a different approach. So my project is to start working on the port side hall model. I made this model of the galley a while back, and I really felt like it helped me to kind of realize the space. I wanted to try to make the model a little bit bigger. But I've started with printing out the sections. And then I glue it onto cardboard, and then I'm basically gonna stand these up, connecting them together and basically creating the hall. This model is just not cooperating. I find it extremely difficult to get these curves, because they're all changing, like, because the hull is getting narrower further up, and none of these angles are straight. It's all curves, and it's curves that bulge down and up, and like, I'm gonna gain some more positive attitude and I guess continue.
I absolutely love seeing passion above and beyond the norm, which is why I'm happy to say that today's video is sponsored by Ridge. Ridge was actually founded by a father and son team a little bit over 10 years ago in their garage. It's a very cool story, and in order to celebrate their anniversary, they're offering a sale right now of up to 40% off. I got my Ridge wallet and my key holder just over a year ago now, and I never leave home without it. Doesn't matter if I'm going to the shop for the day or out with Kaz for a well-deserved night out. Ridge has plenty of room for cards and cash. Plus, it's RF blocking to help you from being scanned, and it comes in a bunch of colors. So it is green for me, backed with a lifetime warranty and a 99-day risk-free trial. Right now, Ridge is offering up to 40% off for their special anniversary sale. So if you're looking for a solid upgrade for yourself or that special salty sailor in your life, now is the time. It is super easy. All you have to do is head on over to ridge.com/SV Delos. I will pop a QR link right here, and there's also a link below in the description. You'll get an awesome wallet, and you will not regret it. It is quality stuff. Okay, thank you so much for your support for watching, and now let's get back to Kaza and her crafty models.
I think I got it. So this is the model. One really important lesson I guess I had was actually to lower my expectations and think more about like, why am I making these models? It's more a tool to help me visualize the space. I've had a lot of different ideas for this room. So to maybe have like a single bed that becomes a double bed, and to have the top bunk folding up and a lot of things. But after, you know, just like looking at a lot of other boats and going through a lot of different versions, and then I actually realized a lot of things. So first version that I did is exactly like it is on the model. 60 centimeter high bed, and then we have the top bunk. But like when I was looking in through the door, I felt like the bed, the bunk bed was sticking out a little bit too much because it's eye level, so you kind of walk straight into like an edge of the bed sticking out. Because I think why David, the designer, put the bed right here is because that's kind of makes it the widest. But it's quite high, it's like 60 centimeters high. So I was thinking, what if I lower it and I only lose a few centimeters on each side, but I gain 10 centimeters towards the roof. So that can be quite nice actually, because then if she wants to use this half of the bed as like a play area, that could be possible if the bed is even lower. So I made the bunk bed a different shape. So it's still the same width up here where you have your pillow, but at the feet end, it's gonna be narrower. I also lower the bed to be 50 instead of 60 high, which means that you will have more headroom. Like another option for the design is keep the bunk bed the same, but have a single bed at the bottom. This is actually the kind of original design that David, the designer, had for the boat. But I feel like if we will lose quite a lot of storage space that would otherwise be under the bed, basically. After a lot of consideration, we are definitely leaning towards it feels actually like a big relief to have this decision done. Me and Dan and Nate just went through everything. Dan had some input when it comes to like fabrication, and I think they're gonna start fabricating it. So it's really cool to see this kind of like evolution, I guess, from me making the model, deciding on the design, and then now it's gonna come into reality. How's it going, Dan?
Good. I need some sunglasses on all these bright shirts.
I love how we all have different ones.
I tell you what, it makes that pair over there look a lot brighter anyway. Hey?
So what Dan is doing in the porthole right now is creating the interior framework. So this is not something that came with the original design. This is something that Stradbroke Yachts are designing from scratch.
That's because boat designs usually focus on the structure and major components. The hulls, deck, cockpit, and other essential parts that make a boat seaworthy. However, detailed interior layouts, like bed frames and cabinetry, often aren't fully developed in early stage designs, especially on a one-off custom boat like ours.
It is incredible how many complicated curves and angles are in the interior of a boat. And to make it all look really good is really intense work.
That's about where we're at there.
For the wardrobe.
Yeah.
Dan is crushing it, and to just see him kind of just like solve all of these complicated challenges has been absolutely amazing.
So we were aiming for about 600, weren't you? I got about 585 there.
That's like how wide our bed is in the forepeak on Delos,
Yeah.
you know? And then you lay with your head that way, so it's really on your
Yeah.
feet. So
And we can angle it out to wherever you feel comfortable up that end.
it's just fantastic to work with people that have like a can-do attitude instead of being like, oh, this is really hard. Just like look at them from like, okay, let's solve this with like such a joy for creating.
I mean, that is dead space, so we can probably utilise that.
But it needs to be insulated. Yeah. Because this is going to be our home, and we're creating, you know, we're pushing boundaries and we're creating a boat that is perfect for us. I think that's pretty good. I mean, this whole space is like not over, you know, it's open up. And because we lowered this bed, I feel like you have pretty good headroom right here. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yep.
How do you feel?
With my hands.
Haha, dad jokes. And that's why I really, really love working with all these guys, and everybody in Stradbroke is just, yeah, just cannot speak highly enough of Stradbroke Yachts and all the guys. It's just, yeah, it's been fantastic. I just wanted to mention that because I don't know if we say it enough in the videos, and yeah, it just means a lot.
We've decided to go exploring a little bit today. This is one of our favorite places in Australia. Well, around where we live anyway. But we're at Wellington Point, and we're just showing Super Ryan some of our faves around where we live.
I'm missing the boat already. I want to get back to sanding.
Ready for a sleep?
Yeah. That's a top bunk, huh?
Top bunk.
Has it been challenging to figure out the shapes and stuff?
A little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit of an odd shape,
Yeah.
but I think it'll utilise the space the best.
I think it looks great though.
Get up there, Kaz. It's long enough, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely lay here.
Yeah.
Without
so when
issues.
you're in the, or when Brian's in the doghouse,
Yeah.
you can send him over. He should be the one testing it out, you reckon? We want you to come and test out the bed for when you're in the doghouse.
Is this where I go when I'm in trouble?
Yeah.
I'll be in the other one. Or I'll be sleeping in the dinghy. Oh,
Look at this.
Look at that though.
So cool. Dan just gave Ryan a thumbs up. Yeah, so it's gonna be drawers at the front here, 2 drawers, one here and one here, so you can open those, and then back there, long-term storage. I can now really start to imagine like where the lights are gonna be, where we're gonna want fans, like where are the storage compartments, like how are you gonna use this space. It's so much easier when you actually have some stuff in to have a look at. This is one room. Now, as I move through the boat, I'm gonna make this, you know, for the back part as well. So this is just the beginning, but at least we're moving forward, and I feel like this was a room that I was the most unsure about. It feels good, and on to the next project. I'm trying to figure out how to utilize this bottom space under here the best way. I've spent hours going through inspiration pictures, just trying to kind of just like figure out basically what I like and how I imagine these spaces to look like. It doesn't come very easy to me to be able to like just look at the space as it is now without any kind of like wall panels or anything in there, and like imagine how I want the storage to be and what materials and what colors I want to use and like all of these things. So I've done a few mock-ups where I've kind of just like taken a picture and then I've just tried to like overlay things in Photoshop, like different colors, different like shapes, and like to make it a little bit easier for me, the boys are putting up wooden plank. Like it helps me a lot to try to imagine the space and also to see how much storage we have behind here. I'm gonna have a look at this, spend on some time just trying to visualize different materials and see basically if I can come up with anything cool. Wish me good luck.
Dan, what are you building today?
Bulkhead.
This will be for Sierra's room.
Yep.
What's going on here with this cutout here?
Around the bed.
Oh yeah, for the bunk bed in there.
Bunk bed.
Sweet.
Hope it's in the right spot.
Oh, I'm sure you nailed it like always. I want to take a second to show you guys just how awesome this is. So that's that piece that he just got done cutting out. What a tricky cut he had to make and slide it. Literally had to slide it in here to place. But that's the first wall to go up and it looks good.
So we're putting up the roof panels, so the substrates. So we've oversized the panels, clamp them in position, mark our mounting points and some reference lines.
He's marking out basically where this center of this rail is so you can know where to put the fast mounts.
And then pre-drill our holes, take it down.
Cool, so these are all the...
All our marks for our mounts, and then we go and rivet the female to the steel rail, and then we epoxy and screw our male side of the fast mount to the panel, and then we are riveting our female part of the fast mount to the pre-installed rails that we've got running longitudinally on the boat.
Dan is going to continue to put up the panels. I'm deciding a lot of other things like the blinds, the lights. We need to figure out what fans, all the light switches, because that's the holes basically that is going to be in these wall panels. So I really actually love one thing that Brian said, like if you don't run into challenges, you're not trying enough crazy things. So we are really pushing boundaries on a lot of things in this project, and we want to make a unique badass boat, and that's exactly what we're doing. I wanted to say one more thing. If you do enjoy these boatwork videos and want to see more behind the scenes content, see the videos 1 week before everybody else, and also be able to have meetups that we have here sometimes, head on over to our Patreon site, patreon.com/svdelos. So yeah, okay, see you next Friday. It would be different if we were building a monohull, huh? Then we could just use whatever material.
After work anyway.
Yeah.
I get a little nervous, but he keeps on giving me more chances with it.
You've done a ripper job so far with this bulkhead.
What he's not saying is he did 90% of it before he handed it to me.
I don't believe a word they say about you.
Yeah, how is it working with wood? Do you like it or?
Can't weld it.